Okay, so this whole stick gate thing. Oh yeah, my food's in the food's in the shot there. Okay, here's the rundown. We're at final round, Marvel 3. Full schedule has a stick. So it got a normal stick, it has normal buttons, but then on top of the normal buttons, it also has these 2 extra ones, which are up forward and up back. He played against Filipino champ and Neo, and he beat them. And Neo got mad, and he saw the stick, and he heard about it, and I was talking with him about this after finally, and he said that he actually was told something that was false about it. Right. He later found out, and so he like popped off on Twitter or Facebook or something about it, and it started this whole outrage, I guess. But it started because of this false info somebody gave him, and he said he like really regretted bringing it up, and he would rather just like not have caused any issues, and like so people were saying that it should be illegal because like it's button it's not macroing. That was the okay. So the reason he has this is that with Viper you can do her like the Viper ball thing, which is super jump into burn kick, cancel C, like air H. And in fact, anyway, it's effectively like a half screen overhead. Right. It's not easy at all because you can't press up. You have to do like super jump, then to ward, and then with the burn kick motion. And if you press up at all, it's ruined. So if you only have up forward or up back, to both directions, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, it also helps with seismo canceling as well.
It turns out he doesn't use it for seismo canceling.
Oh, really?
Doesn't use it,
interesting.
645 gave me this whole rundown on it, which was really nice. He doesn't use it for seismo canceling, only for the Viper ball. So when you see him play normally, it doesn't really come up that often because, sometimes he does it, but like that's not the main stuff of his game. Seismo canceling is not what he uses it for.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not for that. It's not for that. So Larry's response, Jim Blanca, who's the head of final round, his response was that in order for full schedule to play in top 8, which he qualified for, he would have to actually sever the wires.
Yeah, and he had to watch him sever
and
the wires.
And he watched them sever the wires. Like one of the stick modders did it. And so those buttons were inactive for the top 8. How did he do in the top 8? He beat Justin Wall.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously the buttons didn't have anything to do with anything. Although I did talk to Filipino champ. Let's keep in mind right here, full schedule, totally cool guy, right? Never had an intention.
And very good, yeah.
Never had any intention of cheating or whatever.
Exactly.
He asked about it. In fact, Filipino champ walked up to me. He was like, yeah, after he beat me, like, he showed me his stick and he told me what was going on. He's like, why would he tell me? And I was like, because he wasn't trying to hide it.
He thought it was legit.
Yeah.
He apparently asked Wizard about it.
Right.
Before Evo last time. And he gave a rundown of it. And I guess Wizard misunderstood what was going on and said that was totally fine. And so as a result, full schedule's been taking it around everywhere, and it can't see. He didn't expect for there to be any problems.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So he was just showing people. He wasn't hiding it.
Right, exactly.
It wasn't like
nothing clandestine.
I got my secret.
He has 2 buttons on the top of his stick.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So
it's not secret.
Yeah, but the one thing I will say, and take this for a grain of salt, however you want. I'm not even sure how much I believe it, but I did ask Champ if he felt like, because he lost the full schedule 3-0, and then in top 8 beat full schedule, right?
Right, but it was it was like
it was 3-1. I believe
3-1. I think that's right.
3-1.
Let's see, full schedule. Where is this?
Should be.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, 3-1.
3-1.
But I recall the games being close.
They were close, but
bad.
According to Filipino champ, he said it felt like night and day. He said that it felt very, very different to him.
Yeah.
So, like I said, take that with a grain of salt.
Right. So in any case, full schedule did well, but it did, bring up the issue of, what's legal in not just joysticks, but in peripheral design. Because it's a combination of the normal joystick and the hitbox.
And even more so than that, because one button does two inputs.
That's part of the question. I don't think it does. I understand that mechanically, it's hitting two little switches in order to do a diagonal.
Right.
But you don't have to do, as the player, multiple things to get an up forward. It's just bink. So I don't see it as being two inputs. I feel like if a hitbox were designed that had all of the up toward, down, had this whole circle, I wouldn't consider that illegal.
I would.
Would you really?
Yeah,
See,
if there was an 8-button hitbox that was like that, I would consider that
Why?
illegal. Just because there's a lot of things like instant air dashing.
I know it's easier.
Requires like a forward, like on some games, and stuff like that.
It's easier.
Right, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me.
Who cares?
It doesn't feel right to me. Like, if you're using it to do that, it doesn't feel legal to me. If you're mapping more than one... Because the thing is, a pad comes with certain spots on it.
Yeah.
It does what it does, and you're actually making a button do something that nothing else ever really does, right? So, I don't know, there's just a lot of different ways that you could take it. If that's legal, I feel like you could start doing lots of really crazy, ridiculous things to your joystick.
So, I guess here's the analogy I'm thinking of. Mm-hmm. If I'm playing hockey, should I have to use the stick that was originally used in hockey 150 years ago? 200 years ago?
Right.
Or because that stick was the stick that turned into the ice hockey stick, the field hockey stick, which are very different things. They became specialized because they started to be applied to the game themselves.
Yeah.
So,
for sure,
a controller is something that applies to every game. You're just given this default controller, and you use it for everything. But the hitbox and full schedules thing are creating a peripheral that is better designed to the game.
Yeah, for sure.
So when I play hockey, I use a certain stick that's better for defensemen even than for forwards or for goalies. They're all very specialized. I feel like that is the better analogy. It's not... I have a stick. It's the same idea. It's just better suited to what I'm doing. If I were still competing, I said this many times, I would be playing on hitbox because it's better.
Right, yeah.
You can be more efficient with it.
I've even thought about using the hitbox.
I think it's clearly a better choice. And that's because it's designed for fighting games. It's not something that is designed for everything, including fighting games. It's a specific thing.
Yeah.
Which I think is great. I think it's super smart.
Okay. I can see that. I mean, I don't know. It just feels odd to me, I guess, right now. I guess I would have to play with it a little bit more to see if I can start doing a lot more things that I normally wouldn't be so used to being able to do.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean...
I feel like it's everybody else's bad for not playing on hitbox.
Yeah,
like they're like...
I guess, let me put it this way, I guess.
Yeah.
I would feel better about it if it was publicly available to everybody.
It is.
But you have to mod it. You have to actually do work, drill holes in the stick and put it in more buttons into.
It's available in exactly the same way as a TE stick is.
Right.
You buy it from somebody else who's already made it for you.
But not everybody's gonna sit there and want to spend the time to go and do something like that. And then
it's just buying it or not. You just order it from Hitbox.
Then that's where Hitbox isn't the same thing. Hitbox still has 4 buttons.
Okay, but maybe Hitbox starts making this new thing.
Right. Okay. So they start making it. Then I'd be okay with it. Honestly, I probably would be okay with it. Because the problem is right now, a lot of people... the one thing that makes fighting games good is that people are using the same things that you're using that are very readily available. You know what I mean? You can get good on a pad, you can get good on a stick. Vi is using the same joystick anybody else is doing. You just modified the bat top or whatever like that. But as soon as you get to a point where you can improve your play because you went out and modded a stick and added an up forward and up back button on your joystick, not a lot of people have access to that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And now it really does kind of start hitting that point where it's like, oh, I want to be serious, so I've got to pay extra money to do this. I've got to find a resource who could mod my stick for me, kind of thing like that, or learn to drill it and solder it yourself or something like that. But if Mad Cat sold a stick that just had an up back and up forward button there that everybody bought and everybody could use, I could totally understand. I could totally understand that. I mean, it really is kind of like a corked bat. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to have a better bat that lets me do something that everybody else's bat can't do.
It's like having a different size and density of bat. Not a corked bat, but that's legal. You can have different bats. There are different bats. And different people prefer different bats for different things. A slugger's bat is not necessarily the same bat as, like, somebody who hits infield all the time.
Right.
Again, hockey sticks are different by position. The people who play tennis wire the little wires differently to like different strength.
But see, that's something that you can just take to the stringer and go, here, do this for me. I want it at this tension. Like, to do this, like, guy in Nebraska who doesn't have a huge scene around him sees all these people doing these crazy things, and he's like, I want to replicate this. And he doesn't have the access to the ability to get these things modded. Well, he's not going to be able to practice this kind of thing with a lot of other people. You see what I'm saying? It's not.
I do.
It's not something readily available to everybody. If, like I said, someone made a stick that was just like that anyone could buy, okay, all right, I'll go with that. Because all the things that you're talking about are readily available to anybody who wants to play hockey. The tennis stuff, readily available to anyone who wants to play tennis. They can get it stringed to different things. I could go get my tennis racket and string it however I want right now when I buy it from the store.
Like, there are different, like, there are better and worse hockey sticks and hockey skates. And
but
I mean, the reason...
That's just cost, though. That's just,
it
you
is.
just pay more.
Well, yeah.
But the thing about it is, this form of joystick with extra buttons isn't on sale anywhere.
I could make it on sale.
We could, and if we did...
I don't mean that I would create it. I mean, like, I would be like, hey, modder, make this for me.
Right.
And it's going to cost more.
Yeah. But it's the same thing. But you have to do a completely, like, go out of your way to go find someone to mod it for you, right?
Just go on TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah, but not a lot of people have that, you know.
Look, I feel like this is not a good argument.
Well, a lot of people are actually talking about select plinking and stuff like that, too.
Yeah.
I hate it, too.
Yeah.
I actually don't like select plinking. Yeah. I've actually been... In fact, one of my major conversations with Peter has been figure out a way to get rid of that. Because I hate it. Because a lot of people talk about using it with the jab button. What people don't realize is that there's actually a concept of triple plinking.
Yeah.
Right? With fierces. And if you add the select button, if I wire the two leftmost buttons as back, I can triple plink my medium buttons too.
Right.
Which makes it even better. So a lot of people telling me that I'm wrong because of back. I've hated that my whole life.
That's consistent.
I've never liked back plinking at all. Okay. And it's the same kind of thing. But I mean, I can mod my stick to do that. That's super easy. Yeah. You know, you don't even need soldering or anybody to do any wiring. You just pull the connectors from the select button and put it into the button. That's it. So that's a completely different thing. I don't have to drill new holes into my stick or anything like that. You know what I mean? Those are completely different scenarios. So,
in any case, I didn't think full schedule stick was that big of a deal. He did fine without it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's a moot point. It's a moot point. The real point is, what are we going to do about the future? Exactly. With these joysticks.
I agree. So. Okay. Yeah. Well, we have a little bit more time. Let's talk about Smash. Mm-hmm. What's going on in Smash?
Big news. Team Liquid, a very prominent StarCraft group,
indeed,
has decided to sign 2 Smash players, which is DJ Korean and Sephiroth Ken. And Ken, of course, was the pretty much premier champion of Melee before Mewtwo King kind of took off, before Ken kind of stopped playing it a little bit and went on Survivor or whatever.
I remember that.
So, yeah. So, yeah.
That was bizarre. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that's awesome. Good job. Good job to them. And it's part of this resurgence in Melee. Right. That I think is awesome.
Yeah. And
we talked about that many times, how we think that's super
a lot
cool.
of people, are always like, well, maybe Team Liquid should sign fighting game players. Or like some people are even saying like, wow, really? Smash just gets resurgence and they get like signed to bigger teams? Then
I was joking when I put a tweet out that was like that, and it was completely
that's right. Yeah,
for fun. I was not being serious.
Yeah.
People thought I was being serious. But.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think it's
fantastic.
fantastic. I think it's great. I think Smash is a good game for that. Smash has a lot of momentum right now.
It does.
And I feel like
Melee does.
Yeah, Melee does. So I think that's amazing. And it's just more signs that the fighting game community is continuing to grow.
The other thing that happened was that CEOs, like upcoming, not final CEO, but like whatever their interim CEO is called, is a qualifier for MLG Anaheim.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
MLG Anaheim is then a qualifier for CEO.
Yeah.
So there's like double qualifying going on.
Yeah.
But I think that's cool too.
Yeah.
I guess that also brings in the MLG side of things. But it goes to show, I guess, the popularity of Melee right now and how things are going great for that scene.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me because, I mean, it's really funny to me that, like, Melee broke the record for, views at the time. Marvel eventually got more, right, at EVO. So at the time, it broke the record, super hype, all this stuff like that, and it just got all this traction. And then all of a sudden you go to, like, Marvel, and, like, Marvel's not even in Capcom Pro Tour, had the biggest numbers and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that, but, you know, I'm glad for Melee. I think it's a great scene to have this happen. And, again, it's just always the perfect example of what the community does for itself. As opposed, I mean, it all happened because when EVO put out that the donation drive, they came out on top, and it was the community effort that did that. And they got all the TVs for EVO. They did all that stuff. Right. Then they were the ones who band together when Nintendo said no streaming, and so again, it's just power of the community, right?
Yeah,
there.
MLG Adam even said that he was really impressed with the community because they did things that MLG never could. MLG never got the rights to stream.
Yeah.
That's only because of community.
Yep. Exactly. So
I guess on the other side of things, there's this movement to like free Brawl.
Yeah.
Nobody has told me of a situation, at least, where like MLG would have had Brawl except Nintendo. Didn't let them.
I don't think that's the situation at all.
I just
think that they're just sad. I mean, I know Prague, a.k.a. Winton Smith, one of the premier Smash commentators, and one of the most important community guys. He's always fighting for Smash community. You know, he's actually been saying that he's actually really sad because there's a lot of people when Melee got picked up, a lot of Brawl fans were like, "Whoa, pack it in, Brawl! Like we're done." And so there's like a group of people who are just like quitting or something like that. But then there's another group of people who are really pushing for it, trying to fight for it. I don't know if there's a chance for Brawl to get to MLG or EVO.
I don't know.
But I think it's great for them to keep pushing for it. Brawl fans gotta do what they gotta do, right?
Yeah, so, I totally agree with that. Even if there isn't actually like Even if what I said about MLG, like, wanting to have Brawl, but Nintendo said no. Right. That doesn't happen. It's just great to see that community is, like, bootstrapping itself.
Right. A lot of people are talking about Project M. We can almost guarantee that'll never happen. So.
It's impossible. Yeah. That thing is a gigantic piece of copyright infringement.
Yeah.
In a way that Nintendo is not going to allow in any sense.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, I would be surprised if any tournament that officially got the rights from Nintendo to stream Melee or Brawl or even Smash 4, I would imagine that part of that license would include like, don't show any mods of our game.
Right.
That's something like that. So
right.
That's probably not going to happen.
But yeah, I mean, it would be cool. But like I said, I mean, the main thing for Brawl is just to keep up what they're doing, keep pushing for it, and again, have positive tournaments, have good turnout, do kind of like what the Cross Tekken group is doing, talk with each other. Again, it's all about positivity. Like, it's such a repeated thing that in the fighting game community, positivity has always been the driving force of success.
Seems like it.
Always. Like, anybody who's ever tried to boycott or try to be angry about stuff, whatever, has almost never led to success.
Right.
But everything that has been positivity has always been what's worked. And so if you're a community and you want your game to succeed, it's all about being positive and, you know, promoting your game in a way that's not degrading anybody else or anything like that, that just shows why your game is worth it, right? So
sounds right.
Yeah. So, okay.
So I put up 2 articles on UltraChenTV.
Oh, you got the second one up already?
They're both up there.
Okay.
The first one is all about, you know, most of the cast that we tried. Not say that we tried most of the cast, but the cast that we tried in Ultra Street Fighter 4. A lot about Hugo, you know, the grapplers, obviously. Characters I play.
Yeah.
Dan, Dhalsim,
Yeah,
Hawk,
you were definitely
Hugo,
messing
Zangief.
around with it a lot more than I was.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to mess with it. But
I mean, I also mentioned the stuff that you did.
Yeah,
you messed with Bison and Blanca.
I mean, I'm at this point right now where I'm just like it's probably not even going to be, you know, like a lot of things are still in progress.
Oh,
so
of course.
So I'm kind of like just waiting at this point in time.
Makes
I'm
sense.
just kind of biding my time for
That
it.
makes sense.
So, yeah.
But so I got that one up, and I also got the article all about Decapre, and we talked a lot about that at the start of the show. But if you missed that, or if you want to read it, or there's probably some slightly different info in there, you can go check it out.
Yeah, cool. Yep, and I guess coming up on I Play Winner is going to be the show that sucks with Hanzo Gonzo and Harrison, so definitely check that out.
Hanzo was
I Play Winner. What's that?
Hanzo was at Final Round.
Yes. Yeah.
So they'll be talking about it. Apparently he got blitzed in Marvel 3.
What can you do, man? That's one of those games that if you just don't play a lot, it's so hard to keep up. It's so hard to keep up in that game without playing.
Right.
Because it's just one of those ones that you have to keep your... Like,
I hear you.
You have to be used to seeing everything in order to be successful at that game. So, yeah.
And he actually has been pretty busy lately. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's at twitch.tv/iplaywinner. Go check that out. I'll have this video up tomorrow or the day after at most. Hopefully next week we'll be back to like normal programming. That is to say, having a Monday show. We haven't had a Monday show in a little bit.
Forever, yeah, exactly.
I've had precisely one level 3 focus so far in 2014.
That's right, huh? Yeah. I think I've had like
yikes
2 or 3. I think maybe only 2.
I think maybe only 2.
I think only 2. Yeah.
So we've been majorly slacking on that. Hopefully we'll get back to it.
But also another thing too. I know we've been talking about this maybe on Monday, having guests come by and having a Monday show. Because the thing is, like when we had Gamerby here, the thing that I felt bad about is that we ran over. So we ran over show that sucks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
There's always a lot of questions. So I was thinking if we, had specific Monday shows for interviewing, talking to players. So we're gonna see if we can try to get people out. If you guys have suggestions of who you'd like us to bring on to the show, tweet us at UltraChenTV. Let us know who you'd like to bring on. I mean, I have a list myself. Like on the top of the list is Viscant, right?
That'd be great.
I want that guy on so badly because talking to him about fighting games is like
always cool.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
For sure.
So, yeah.
For sure. Okay. Well, as for tonight, I guess we're done. Thanks for joining us, and come back next Monday, 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, same time.
All right.
See you then.
Peace.